Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of Congregational Humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Yes, here we go. Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. I am Mike Fossich, the music director here, and I am pleased to announce today's music. I'm going to be playing a couple selections that are by gay composers as a part of celebrating Pride Month here. So our first piece is by Meredith Monk, who is a contemporary pianist, composer who's been in New York and has written a lot of interesting things. This one is called Ellis Island. It was written in the early 80s, and it's kind of got that like minimalist, Steve Reich kind of a lot of repeating little themes. So that's the opener. And then in the middle, I'm going to be playing a piece by Samuel Barber. It's just a sweet little piece called Love Song. So I hope you enjoy that. And then at the end of service, I'm very pleased to say that we have some absolutely fabulous guest musicians here with us today. We have Inés Guanches and Jesus Guzman. They're going to give us a tiny preview of the concert that they're going to be performing right here at 12:30 p.m. That's going to be free, and a longer, probably hour recital of some excellent music that they have received a grant from the Minnesota Arts Board to perform in places like this for free. So please stick around after the mini meal for a free concert by these two, and I'll be starting this morning here with this piece, Ellis Island by Meredith Monk.
Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis on this hazy Sunday morning. And welcome to our continuing exploration on the theme of freedom, something that we are constantly struggling for, hopefully marching for and demanding. And today we look at what freedom might be asking of us. That is, if we are to really live and act on what matters to us. We're free, at least so far, to express and advocate for our values. And by Jove, we'd better step up to that task. First Unitarian Society is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. I'm Reverend Jullan Stoneberg, your Interim Minister. I use she, her pronouns. Whatever brought you here today, however you are choosing to show up, whoever you love, whatever you're hoping for, whatever your pronouns, whichever of the myriad of possible emotions you may be feeling, this time, this space, this community is here for you right now, and love is at the center of this faith. Every day, may we find ways to walk humbly upon this magnificent land, which is the cultural and spiritual and indigenous homeland of the Dakota Oyate. We acknowledge that we continue to benefit from the unfavorable treaties, the military campaigns, and the indigenous and the settler colonialism which reshaped the history of the Dakota people. May we do more than speak words and endeavor to work more closely and more reparatively with the people whose homeland we occupy. For those of you who are new with us, an especially warm welcome to you. I hope you can join us for our weekly mini meal in the lower assembly hall after the service. And if you'd like to connect more, please feel free to stop by the office and sign up to receive our newsletter so that you can be in the know about what's happening here all during the week. We are a multi-generational community, and today is another summer Sunday in the park for our kids and youth. For future weeks, permission slips can be found in the main office. Youth of all ages are welcome, with an additional adult chaperone required for children younger than 8. There's always room, of course, for families and kids here in the assembly hall, and we welcome everybody's movements and sounds and presence. And if you so choose, there is childcare available down the hall to the left as you exit this space. So now I invite you, wherever you are, to take a moment to welcome the morning, to greet those around you, and to introduce yourselves to those you don't know. Those online will be able to see you through that camera there, so you might want to wave to them. This is also a great time to get a teal songbook or to use the QR code to access an order of service. So welcome everybody. Say hi. So let's breathe and settle into this time and space. Our centering words today are those of Gretchen Haley. There is nothing you need to bring with you to be welcome here. No right beliefs or proof of citizenship, no eternal optimism or clarity of conviction, no boundless courage or endless expertise. You do not need to know what brought you here or how you will solve that problem you are turning over and over and over in your mind. Your bills do not need to be paid. Your checkbook can be a mess. Your children may have been up half the night. Your hearing aids may not be working and your knees may be creaking. You do not need to be already perfect or even halfway to belong in this circle where grace meets us where we are, but does not leave us as it found us. Where love resides in each of us, yet is somehow more than all. Where life still pulses and rages and heals and transforms, creating us and this day anew once again. So come, let us gather our spirits together. June is Pride Month, and our chalice lighting this morning is an acknowledgement of that. Jackie is coming to light our chalice flame, and I invite you to share with me in a responsive reading. You'll speak a few lines, and then I'll say a few. Then I'll pass it back to you like this, and we'll go back and forth like this a couple of times. So this is called the Pride Flame. And when the words are there, you'll begin. We light
this flame to ignite our hearts and minds, the spark of knowledge that enlightens, the shimmering hope that burns, the blazing love that engulfs our actions, the bonfire of our commitment.
We light this flame for those who celebrate themselves, who fear, who hope, who persevere, who side with love for all.
We light this flame for those who have been ridiculed, that they may find peace, for those who have fought to marry, that they may celebrate, for those who live in uncertainty in the world, that they may have hope.
We light this flame to renew our commitment that no one shall ever again suffer for the right to love.
We light
This flame to celebrate our kaleidoscope of diversity, working, loving, and living on the side of love. For this, we light this flame. Our chalice flame is lit in this space and in our hearts and in all the spaces where we're gathered. So let's speak our congregational covenant together. Love is the spirit of this place, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you, Jackie. So now let's sing. I invite you to rise in body and or spirit to sing Building a New Way. It's number 1017 in the Teal Songbook, and the words will also be on the screen.
Good morning. The First Unitarian Society is a congregational humanist community. We are here for each other, our neighbors, and our planet. And one manifestation of that is our caring team. My name is Carol Barclay, and I'm a member of that team, and we are here for you. There is simultaneously joy and hardship in our midst. If at any time there's something happening in your life that you'd like to share with the care team or this community, please call the FUS office and leave a message. Send a note to joys and concerns at firstunitarian.org, or you can be in touch with us through our contact on the website. After the assembly today, you're invited to stop by the card basket, which is downstairs, to send a note to folks that you're especially thinking of and people that we have mentioned today especially. I have several things to announce, some exciting. Jenna and George Hutchison are pleased to share that their son Brent, who was raised here at FUS, has married Paloma Navarro in a San Francisco Bay Area courthouse ceremony on Thursday. Brent needed formal documentation of their marriage to facilitate approval for a visa prior to their move to Switzerland in December, where Paloma has accepted a faculty research position. A bigger party to celebrate will be happening in Tiburon, California, mid-September. Now, Maureen and Dan Hunt have 3 joys to share. The first one is Lena is moving into her own apartment this month. Way to go, girl. Their son Charlie is graduating from Minneapolis Roosevelt High School and headed to the University of Minnesota. What a lot of excitement. However, Kathleen Rona is having knee surgery this coming Thursday. Not something to celebrate exactly, but we sure hope that everything goes smooth and quick for Kathleen. Oh, I completely went over one of the joys and excitements. I left out one of the 3 from, sorry about that. Maureen and Dan Hunt celebrated their 20th wedding anniversary this past June 4th, and they were married here at FUS, as was I. And we are sending congratulations to them. I think this is a good place to get married. Now you're invited in the following moments of silence to reflect on all the joys, those new ones that I added as well, and losses and griefs and milestones in our lives, for those we love and in the lives of beings everywhere. We take this time that we might connect with our shared humanity to embrace and celebrate the beautiful range of human diversity, to commit ourselves to showing up for those who need support, and to remember all who are suffering. Let us now take a moment of silence.
You may remain seated as we sing.
In this time, when our nation is seeing fewer pride flags, and too many companies are abandoning diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging work, and there's increasing legislation aimed at taking away voting rights, limiting the right to gender-affirming care, and trying to slash health care for those in most need, we are being called to step up our efforts. And we don't have to look too far from home. I'd like to share this reflection by Connie Simon about the voices that are missing right here in our congregation. When I started attending a UU church, I was excited by the promise of worship that would draw from the arts, science, nature, literature, and a multitude of voices. Indeed, some of the voices that Unitarian Universalists hear in worship each week belong to Thoreau, Emerson, Ballou, and others. Their words are beautiful, but they come from a culture and experience that's foreign to me. When do I get to hear voices from my culture? I quickly learned that, other than a few quotes from Martin Luther King Jr. and Howard Thurman's The Work of Christmas, it wasn't going to happen. I sit attentively and listen with my head to their voices, while my heart longs to hear more of our voices. I am a Black woman. When I look around on Sunday morning, I don't see many people who look like me. In most of the congregations I visit, I don't see anyone who looks like me. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that I don't hear voices of people who share my experiences. But it still hurts. I want to hear voices that tell the struggle of living under the weight of oppression in this culture of white supremacy. I want to hear voices of trying to stay afloat in the water we swim in. I want to hear voices of living while Black in America. I don't hear those voices in UU churches, so I have to supplement my worship by reading Black theologians like Anthony Pinn and Monica Coleman. I read Maya Angelou, James Baldwin, and my favorite poet, Paul Laurence Dunbar. Though not a Unitarian or a Universalist, Dunbar chronicled the African American experience in the years following the Civil War and the emancipation of enslaved Africans. A time of opportunities for Blacks as we migrated north in droves, seeking employment and education, but also a time of continuing segregation, racism, and oppression. Dunbar acknowledged this tension in his writing. We hear him long for joy and prosperity, while at the same time knowing that the system would conspire to keep true happiness just beyond his grasp. A pint of joy to a peck of trouble, and never a laugh, but the moans come double. That is life. Still, he was a champion of social justice, believing that God had sympathy for the plight of the oppressed and that his grace will be bestowed not on those who soar, but those who plod the rugged way, unhelped to God. For Dunbar, the struggle was real. 100 years later, hearing Dunbar express his frustration and give voice to the contradictions of our existence as African Americans encourages me and nourishes my soul. His voice speaks to my heart. He knows my pain and understands my sadness, my fear, and my rage. He understands the tears I cry as I pray for strength to get through another day in this world. He gives voice to my deep faith that real change is coming someday. He didn't see it in his lifetime, and I might not see it in mine, but I have to keep believing it's possible. That's the message many African Americans long to hear in church. I know that's what I need to hear every now and then. Will it ever happen? Or will we have to go outside to hear our voices? If that's the case, maybe there's no place for us in Unitarian Universalism. The thought of leaving is painful, but so is being in a faith that ignores our voices.
So I recently watched a movie called A Good Person, starring Morgan Freeman and Florence Pugh. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, I can't really use this film as an intro to my reflections today without also giving away some of the story. Sorry about that. It begins with joyful scenes in the days before Allison, played by Pugh, is to be married. But then, on a way to a dress fitting, there's a tragic car accident that kills her fiancé's sister. Allison is the driver. She's also badly injured. The marriage is called off, the couple splits up, and Allison enters a long recovery which leads into a deep depression and an addiction to pain meds. Morgan Freeman plays Daniel, the would-have-been father-in-law, the father of the woman who died in the crash. A retired police officer who is also, of course, grappling with his own sorrow, Daniel becomes Allison's unlikely ally in their interconnected journeys toward healing and recovery. And there's one line in the movie that's an apropos launching pad for what I want to share with you today. It's actually the name of the movie. Allison really struggles with facing her culpability for the car accident. And the insinuation is that her inability to own that is what is getting in the way of her healing. At one point, while still denying any responsibility, she emphatically states, "I am a good person. I'm a good person." As if being a good person and making any mistakes are mutually exclusive. I'm reminded of Martin Luther King Jr.'s words, and there we go, quoting one black person. Reminded of Martin Luther King Jr.'s words in his letter from a Birmingham jail, where he writes that he has, quote, "reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in his stride toward freedom is not the white citizen's counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, 'I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I can't agree with your methods of direct action,' who paternalistically feels he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by the myth of time, and who constantly advises the Negro to wait until a more convenient season," unquote. Even today, more than 60 years later, those words are hard to hear and hard to own. Can't you see that I'm a good person? I didn't have anything to do with that. I can't possibly have had any role in standing in the way of your freedom. I'm a good person. I'm enlightened. I'm progressive. I'm a good person. Well, my topic this morning begins with the notion that we are free to do DEIB work. That is the justice work of diversity and equity and inclusion and belonging. Now, anti-racism is, of course, one part of that, but so is homophobia and transphobia and ableism and sexism and ageism and xenophobia and fatphobia and classism and, well, even environmental degradation. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear all those words together and feel their real presence, well, it's pretty hard to imagine any kind of an inclusive or diverse environment. If there is to be the promise of belonging within a circle of humanity where there are lots of doorways into the circle, then there just can't be all these blockades that keep getting thrown up in front of those doors. The doorways cannot require proof tests or secret passwords to enter. But isn't this exactly what's happening in our beloved country? You know, we hold this beautiful, idealized picture of a diverse and engaged citizenry who can all come together civilly and respectfully within a system of true democracy and where each person is guaranteed inalienable human rights and the opportunity to flourish. And now it seems that this ideal is just being thrown out and that barriers are being thrown up in front of so many of us. So many of us, barriers thrown in front of anyone are barriers thrown in front of all of us, because none are free unless all are free. And one of the reasons the obstacles exist is all this fear that's being propagated all around and within us. You know, as we see injustices happening, the self-preservation aspects of our brains kick in and tell us that there is not enough to go around and that we'd better protect ourselves, which leads to more barriers. Earlier this week, I was in a meeting with Carrie McDonald, who is the UUA's executive vice president. They were at this meeting to talk to ministers about the UUA's current and courageous efforts to both protect our rights and to advocate for those rights, and to plan for how to respond to any efforts to limit our freedom to speak and to act for our values. That is, for justice and for equity and inclusion. And while Carrie thinks it's unlikely that religious freedom will be systematically revoked, it was sobering to hear of the need to prepare for that possibility. Because were that to happen, it would be catastrophic. And my takeaway was that we should not hide our lights under a bushel, but rather lean into our religious freedom, our freedom to express and to live our values, and in so doing to claim our long history as a covenantal faith, a tradition that is solid and life-giving and of meaning to thousands. Indeed, our best protection is in boldly living our values. A few years ago, when the UUA was considering the revisions to Article 2, Reverend Sherry Prudhomme reflected that there is a mandate emerging from our theological heritage to dismantle the structures and systems which silence, harm, and exploit human beings and the varied ecosystems of our planet, as well as to work to create just and sustainable communities without barriers to belonging for all those who share our values and theological perspectives." Unquote. There is a mandate emerging. So at this time, when so many corporations and institutions are backtracking on their DEIB commitments, and when our governments are hell-bent on taking away rights and dehumanizing so many, we have more than a small role to play in more boldly keeping our commitments to work to bring the beloved community into being, to create communities without barriers. Because if not us, who? And frankly, the hardest work is in making the choice to do something, to actually choose to make our values a priority in our lives. I understand that in her bestseller, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria?, Dr. Beverly Daniel Tatum paints this picture, which is to visualize the ongoing cycle of racism as a moving walkway at the airport. Now, we could insert any ism, and the analogy still works. But with her analogy, she says that to be actively racist, one must choose to walk in the direction the walkway is moving, choosing to follow the tide. To be passively racist is to stand on the walkway, allowing it to carry you in the direction of racism. Doing nothing is passively racist, but racist still the same, because to permit something is to promote it. So to be anti-racist is to actively walk in the opposite direction to the way the walkway is moving. And again, this applies to all the isms. And this is not for the faint of heart. We have to be swimming upstream to actively engage in DEIB work. But beautifully, profoundly, we are in the company of so many others. I mean, just look around you. We are in the company of so many others. And together, I have to believe that we can turn the tide. But what can we do? You know, we ask that question of ourselves all the time, but in reality, the list is endless. I'll just get it started and invite you to add to it in your own way. Redefine what it means to be a good person. Work to understand your privilege and blind spots. Work on acknowledging that white people have to be responsible to dismantle racism, that able people have the responsibility to dismantle ableism, that young people have a responsibility to dismantle ageism against seniors and vice versa, etc., etc. Call out that racist joke your friend made or that misogynist behavior you witness. Don't passively enable animus and hatred. Educate yourself. Listen to podcasts, read books, see films and plays that center underrepresented voices. Create new and unfamiliar, center new and unfamiliar voices and experiences, and learn how to be an ally. Learn about such things as microaggressions and intersectionality and unconscious bias. Let go of a need for order or predictability. Get proximate. Go to spaces and places where marginalized communities gather. Support businesses and organizations who are doing DEIB work. Let go of a scarcity mentality. When more are included, there is actually more for all of us. Be willing to make mistakes. Even when we're being actively anti-racist, we can do and say racist things. So make amends, learn, and then do better. Go to rallies and marches. Be willing to be uncomfortable. Engage in courageous conversations. Make space, open doors, get out of the way to make room for new ideas and unexpected creativity. As I said, the list is endless, which means that there are many, many, many opportunities to fight the good fight. And I know you can find ways that work for you, ways that challenge you. Here at FUS, I wonder how we might become a more visible and reliable ally, or about how we can ensure that we have DEIB policies in place, or about how we could offer more trainings and opportunities to learn. You know, this is not a time to clutch our privilege more tightly. This is a time to be bold in our commitments to human dignity, to beloved community, and to collective liberation. Susan Frederick Gray, former president of the UUA, and who, by the way, was featured on the Growing Edge podcast this week, has also said that this is no time for a casual faith. Some in this room, and some listening in today, live without the complete freedom to live out loud as their whole and authentic selves. But I can say that many of us have so much freedom, which means that we are free to choose to look away. We are free to be passive. You know, but the only way to collective liberation, the only way to show up for those whose freedoms are being denied, is to claim our freedom to do DEIB work and to speak out with moral courage, to act with unwavering conviction. Because I know you know this, I know you believe this, the world really, really needs our values. There will be no more convenient season than now. This is no time for a casual faith. May it be so. So how about we sing? And how about a new song? Are you good with that? Some of you may know it, as it's something the Chapin sisters sing. It's called We Will Not Stop. I know you'll be able to join in easily as we go, so please rise in body and or spirit to sing.
And thank you for what you said.
Oh, you're welcome.
Till the world can sing a Good morning. I'm Heather Martens, and I'm the chair of your Board of Trustees. And I've been at FUS for a while. My kids were in the education program and thrived there. I love calling this place home. And I am here to talk about how to support FUS. And I know all of you, many of you are here supporting us in time, talent, and treasure. And sometimes we have to talk about the treasure part. First Unitarian Society is a free, independent, and self-governing humanist community. Our mission is to foster a free search for knowledge and meaning, to strive for justice, and to serve one another, the Twin Cities, and beyond. As this is the second Sunday, we're living our mission today by joining forces with those at Plymouth Congregational and St. Mark's Cathedral to provide a glorious meal for folks in our community who might otherwise go hungry. You'll hear more in a few minutes about how your mini meal contributions support the Second Sunday Project. For now, it's important that you know that your financial support is an important element in turning our shared vision into reality. To give, you can use the QR code on the screen, which will take you to our online giving form, where you can designate how you'd like your donation used, or you can stop by the office or mail in your donation. And please feel free to reach out to us with any question about giving to First Unitarian Society. As the baskets are passed, you are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And now for a few announcements. All of you are invited to join Moose Jaw, which is the Minnesota UU Social Justice Alliance, for a Fork to Forest presentation today at 12:15 in the Chalice Room. It explores how our food system drives climate change, producing as many emissions as all transportation, and what we can do about that. So you can come learn science-backed practical steps to reduce your climate impact through diet. This coming Saturday, June 14th, No Kings rallies and events are happening all over the country. Here in the Twin Cities, the rally's at the state capitol at 1 p.m. and I invite you to come to carpool from FUS. Come meet here at 11:45. Of course, bring water and sunscreen and your signs. Our summer solstice celebration is happening on Friday, June 20th in the lower assembly hall. Dinner's at 6 p.m., followed by bubbles and games, a fun skit, music by the Eclectics, dessert, trivia games, and a fire circle. And you can get your tickets now while early bird prices last. All kids up to graduating high school seniors are free. If you happen to be purchasing tickets on our website, please add kids to your cart just to help us track attendance. Or you can buy tickets right here today or next Sunday, June 15th. And please don't let the cost keep you away. If you'd like assistance with tickets, just ask me. Songs for Justice, which is a week-long summer camp for 5th to 8th graders, is coming up in August. There's lots more information about this on our website and some flyers on the table in the front, up by the front doors. To make it happen, we really do need more registration, so please help us spread the word. And you can grab the link from the website or the Friday update and share it with your friends and contacts. Just spread it out there in social media. If you're not here in person, I hope that you have some lovely plans to spend the rest of the afternoon. But for those here in person, please join us downstairs for the mini meal, where today we eat simply so others might simply eat. There'll be a surprise menu that's loaded with compassion, simplicity, and generosity, and of course some food as well. Funds collected for today's mini meal do go toward our efforts to provide the free second Sunday dinner for those in need, so please give generously. And finally, I'll just remind you that you're invited to a free concert here that's about sketches of Latin America that begins at 12:30. So now take all these things into your hearts and take a moment to soak in all that we've shared today. We're about to be treated to a preview of that concert with the beautiful music of Inez Guanchaz and Jesus Guzman. Welcome. Thank you. Beautiful. So as we close, let's offer gratitude for everyone for their joyful and capable participation. Mike and always all our staff, the tech crew, the cooks, their helpers, our greeters, Jackie, Shelley, Carol, Heather, and so many others. We could not be all of who we are without you, so thank you. So let's wrap up our time together by extinguishing our chalice. Please join Jackie and me in reading the words on the screen. Oh, I don't know where they are, but I bet you know them. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All of these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again. Thank you, Jackie. So now as we go out in the world to do what makes us come alive, I invite you to take these closing words with you, which are the words of Emily Richards. Our time this morning is at an end, and our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love, the work of trusting that we're on the right path, the work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us, the work of engaging in that which makes us whole, the work of deeper understanding and commitment, the work of letting go of that which does not serve us, the work of radical inclusion, the work of collective liberation, the work of this beloved community, a beloved community of which we all are a part. This place where we are welcomed, respected, valued, and cherished. A place where we belong. So go in peace, and go and rejoice in the power of the human spirit. May it be so.